Sachin Tendulkar has lashed out and hit out at former India coach Greg Chappell. Sachin Tendulkar goes on to expose Greg Chappell's divide and rule policy. He cites an example of the 2007 World Cup where he states that it was Rahul Dravid versus Sachin Tendulkar when Greg Chappell wanted to replace Rahul Dravid as the captain just months before the 2007 World Cup. In fact, he goes on to add that Greg Chappell was a ringmaster who imposed who imposed his ideas onto the players. Now, this is not the first time that Sachin Tendulkar has lashed out at Greg Chappell. Immediately after India's exit in the 2007 World Cup, it was Sachin Tendulkar who voiced his opinion against Greg Chappell, which led to his ouster from the Indian team. In fact, after India's dubious performance at the World Cup, Greg Chappell was asked to resign. It was on the onus of some of the senior players who'd taken the initiative and spoken against the policies of Greg Chappell. Now, that's something that's coming in from Sachin Tendulkar's autobiography, which is soon to be published. But that's the breaking news coming in. Former India captain Sachin Tendulkar taking an open drive and exposing Greg Chappell's divide and rule policy. And he continues to state that Chappell imposed his ideas onto the team. He also goes on to expose his divide and rule policy. Now, this is for the first time that a player has come out and stated and exposed Greg Chappell's divide and rule policy. Previously, we'd heard many players speak about it, but Sachin Tendulkar, in his book, writing down, stating that he had pitted Sachin Tendulkar versus Rahul Dravid, two of the icons of Indian cricket, and he wanted Rahul Dravid to be replaced just months before the 2007 World Cup, where India put up a disastrous performance and India made a first-round exit in the 2007 World Cup. So that's the breaking news at this point of time coming in, that Sachin Tendulkar has lashed out at Greg Chappell and he has exposed his divide and rule policy. This is, of course, not the first time that Sachin Tendulkar has spoken out against Greg Chappell. The two have never sort of got along right through the tenure we've seen. In fact, we're now joined by Anshuman Gaikwad, who's been a former India manager and a coach. Mr. Gaikwad, your thoughts on Sachin Tendulkar stating that Greg Chappell imposed his ideas onto the players and used divide and rule policy in the dressing room?
Well, I really don't know what actually happened, but when Sachin says something, he's a man of status and stature. I'm sure, meaning what he says, he means it. And to a certain extent, yes, I had also come to know about it, that this is what he was trying to do. But well, Sachin says, it goes. There's no question.
Mr. Gaikwad, you've been associated with the team during the 1999 World Cup. Now, this is an incident that Sachin talks about, the 2007 World Cup, where he sort of pitted two legends of Indian cricket against each other, Rahul Dravid versus Sachin Tendulkar, when he wanted Dravid to be replaced by Sachin just ahead of the 2007 Cricket World Cup.
Well, that is something which is individual view, individual opinion. I don't think that is what works in Indian cricket. But, and at the same time, let me tell you that I don't think he's trying to pitch or anything between Rahul and Sachin, because they are the best of the friends. And, I don't think coach can replace a captain. I mean, no question. He can suggest few things. But ultimately, it depends on the selectors.
Absolutely, Mr. Gaikwad, and it was Greg Chappell's policies that sort of didn't work within the dressing room. Maybe it's the culture that he got in from Australia, which did not work for him in India, which exactly led to the downfall of India at the 2007 World Cup. Now it's just reflecting in Sachin's book.
Yeah, absolutely. No, besides that, I think if you look at the performance of the Indian team and the ideas that he inculcated in the Indian team, the Australian theories, I don't think it worked. And, the biggest example I would say is Irfan Pathan. He had problems and, he was almost through with his career.
Well, Mr. Gaikwad, also last question to you is that he clearly states that he was a ringmaster who tried to impose his own ideas onto the players despite players not liking it or not welcoming it.
Yes, meaning I would say he was a man who had played a lot of cricket, and he wanted to have a say in everything, and it showed not only in cricketing fraternity, but even the media, that he was trying to hog the limelight all the time. Meaning, I don't think any coach has done as much as he did, in the previous or even later. And I think he was like a dictator. Meaning, he wanted to do things the way he wanted, and didn't want to adjust to anything. And that's where a couple of players I thought were really doing well at that time just went off the team.
Well, thank you, Mr. Gaikwad. That's the latest that's coming in, where Sachin Tendulkar, in his upcoming book, has lashed out at Greg Chappell, revealed that Chappell had plans of sacking Dravid ahead of the 2007 World Cup, and also stating that he was a ringmaster, exposing his divide and rule policy, which did not work for Team India and which led to the ouster of India in 2007 World Cup. Back to you.